All right, let's get started. Guys, today we have a great guest. I'm super excited. His name is Adam Khromachou. Adam, I hope I got that right. I really appreciate you coming on. Little backstory about Adam. He um, started keto in 2017, and I'd really like you, Adam, to talk a little bit about your story. It's really motivating. And so without further ado, I'd like to introduce you and please tell us a little bit about your journey.
Sure thing. It's actually Khromachou. All good though, man. It's a hard name to pronounce, so I get it. It's all good, man. But yeah, the journey started back in 2017 was when I really started getting into keto and taking it really seriously. I had discovered it or first learned about it through my cousin who was looking for a lifestyle that could reflect on his needs for weight loss and fitness. And he told me about it. And at first I was like, this is crazy, like a high fat diet. And is this even possible? Is this healthy? So he did it, kind of acted as a guinea pig for a lot of us and just showed so much success. From there, you know, I struggled for a few years with different eating plans, different dietary plans, and just saw that I would see success for a while and then would just kind of go back to square one. And from there, around 2017, I went to the doctor. I'd hit 302 pounds. That was the heaviest I ever was in my life. And the doctor had done the test, the whole checkup, and called me a few days later to say, hey, you are in pre-diabetic zone. You are basically at risk of getting diabetes. Your blood sugar levels aren't good. It's a good thing you came to see me now because we caught it before you actually were diagnosed as diabetic. So I went back and remember what my cousin had told me about keto, spent a few days doing extensive research and decided, all right, give it a shot. Within 2 days, I felt like a completely different person, physically, mentally. A lot of the struggles I had were, you know, slowly just starting to decline. I could move around a little better, even though I was still a really big guy. And for a period of 3 months, I just did straight keto and was able to drop 35 pounds. Started seeing the differences. And just kept going. I went from 302 pounds to 250 pounds. And just from there, kept going. You know, I would take some time off and just, you know, eat regularly and then would go back as needed. Eventually got down to 220. And then now with my most recent keto marathon and what I've been doing, I'm down to 197. So in a period of 3 years, I started at 302 pounds and I went down to 197 pounds, and I owe all of it to the keto lifestyle. And just it's a great lifestyle to have. A lot of people, they tend to worry that, oh my gosh, you know, I'm eating so much meat and proteins and fats, and I'm giving up things I love like pasta, bread, desserts, rice, and it can be, you know, scary when you're first getting into it because you're changing the way you eat, you're changing your relationship with food, but you adjust to it so quickly, your body changes, and the next thing you know, you just keep going. Your appetite is controlled. You don't find yourself giving into these crazy cravings for sugar. You don't find yourself being hungry all the time after meals and snacks. And the biggest thing is that your body feels great. You feel energetic, you feel mentally focused, and you know, you just feel like you can accomplish anything. It's a phenomenal journey.
Well, that's great. One of the things that you mentioned that I thought was incredible was, you know, when you got started, what was the success? When did you know, hey, I've got this and I can do it?
I would say within 2 weeks, I felt like it clicked really well. Definitely, I would say the first couple of days, I'm not going to say they were tough, but I was definitely adjusting. You know, your body's been so used to eating things like bread and rice and pasta, And, I have a big sweet tooth. I love desserts. I love candy. I love chocolate. And the first 2 days, you were subtly adjusting to being away from those things. And once you get past those first 2 days, it's a whole different journey. You don't find yourself craving those things. You don't find yourself, wanting a candy bar or, a soda. And I would say within a week and a half to 2 weeks at latest, it's like, I know I've got this. Every day became easier. And the great thing about keto is that you don't deal with these extreme withdrawals when you're first doing it because you're eating great foods. You can eat steak, you can eat chicken, fish, shrimp. You can have, like, if you get sweet tooth in the first few days, you can have some whipped cream. The other great thing about keto as time went by and I did my research is that you realize there are so many great alternatives to the foods you would eat when you're not on keto. Keto Crisp is one of those great things. They help with the sweet tooth because sometimes you want something sweet, and Keto Crisp and products like that can offer you that fixing of your sweet tooth. It can offer you something sweet, but that also has the nutrition and has the proteins that you need, and it's low carb. And one of the great things about a product like Keto Crisp is that a lot of these sugar substitutes and products that are there if you're on keto, they tend to have an increased amount of sugar alcohols, which can cause some bloating and gastrointestinal issues, but I never felt that with Keto Crisp. So, it was a great alternative. And if you look for it and do the research, you can find a lot of alternative products. There's substitute pastas, substitute pizzas. There are great recipes to make your own pizza crusts if you want pizza. And it's all there, and the research is available, especially this day and age with technology and information at your fingertips.
Well, that's great, and I'm so impressed by the research that you've done and the follow-up that you've done and where to get products. What advice would you give, Adam, to somebody just getting started or, that maybe have tried diets? We've talked yesterday about really it's not a diet, it's more of a lifestyle. Can you touch on maybe some advice that you would give? You've done such great work, and it's really worked well. And what advice can you share to our listeners out there?
Absolutely. The first piece of advice, actually, I'm going to reference my cousin Latif, who's watching right now. Thanks for being here, buddy. The first advice he and his brother gave me was don't look at it as a diet. Look at it as a lifestyle. The moment you use the word diet, that's like you feel there's restrictions. You feel like you're making sacrifices. Treat it like a lifestyle because you're still eating foods you love. You're eating things, like high-fat meats, proteins, There's so many things you can eat, and there's so many different vegetables you can put into it. Cauliflower, broccoli, spinach, lettuce, and there's so many options in your menu when you're doing keto. So don't treat it as a diet. Look at it as a lifestyle. The first piece of advice I can say is don't give up. You're not going to see these extreme results within 3 days. Probably within about a week or two, you're going to start noticing that your weight is dropping, especially at the beginning is when you're going to see the biggest weight loss because your body is getting into ketosis. Once your body is in ketosis, it's like a straight shot, like a marathon runner just running down the track and it doesn't stop. The other piece of advice I would give is because your body's going to be changing, your stomach especially. In the first few days, you might be experiencing a few side effects on a gastrointestinal level. Your body's going to be getting rid of a lot of toxins and things that were in there before you started keto. Let that pass after a few days, and from there, it's just smooth sailing. Give it a 2-week run, and you're going to see the results, and you're going to want to keep going. And the biggest motivator when you're starting is you are going to realize that, it's going to give you such a great feeling in your body. You don't get that bloated feeling. You don't feel heavy after eating. You don't get that mind fog from excessive carbohydrates. And you feel like a completely different person. You feel you can go out there and conquer the world. The other piece of advice I would give is, get some exercise in there. You don't have to go to the gym or, especially right now, a lot of us are working out at home or taking walks outside. You don't have to go crazy like a bodybuilder, just do minor exercises. Take a walk, take a light jog, lift some light weights, you know, just get your blood flowing that way and include that. And you'll realize that you can accomplish anything at all.
Right. I always say success breeds success, and you want to always start out with something that you can manage, especially if you've been down the road before of dieting or whatever it may be in life. You want to feel that success and continue to build on it. One of the things that I noticed right away was the amount of weight that just came off. I was so amazed. Obviously, I've always had confidence in myself and what I could do, but I never have seen results like I had seen in the keto diet. I have to ask you, you know, with Keto Chris, where did you first notice our bar?
It's interesting because I'm always, when I go shopping, I'm always on the lookout for keto products, especially sweets, because they're the big thing of curbing my sweet tooth. And I was at a Gelson's, and I remembered a friend mentioned, hey, have you heard of Keto Crisp? There are these really good bars. And I went to Gelson's, I found it there, and I tried it, and immediately I was like, wow, this is incredible. It tastes great. It tastes like a candy bar. There's so many, you know, there's a few different options of flavors, like the almond butter chocolate chip. There's the mint chocolate, the raspberry chocolate, and just the straight almond butter, which I know is the most known flavor. And I tried the almond butter flavor, and immediately was like, this is a payday bar. It reminds me so much of a payday bar, which is one of my favorite candy bars. And it tasted great. I didn't have some kind of weird aftertaste because it has alternative sweeteners to it. And it didn't give me that bloated feeling, and I loved it. And after I eat dinner, which my favorite keto recipe is deep frying some cauliflower in olive oil, topping it with melted cheddar cheese, putting some bacon on there. After I eat a dish like that, when I want dessert, you know, a Keto Crisp is my go-to. And found it at Gelson's the first time, and just, you know, it's my go-to for something sweet.
Well, that's great. Now, do you find yourself cooking a lot, or do you go to when you're out and about? Obviously now it's difficult. How do you what you talked about your go-to recipe as far as the cauliflower French fries? It sounds great. I want to get that recipe for sure. What other things do you cook, or do you talk to me about that meal preparation? What does that look like for you?
Absolutely. I eat at home most of the time just because keto has inspired me to learn to cook keto recipes. And apart from the cauliflower fries, I do very much, I like to make what's called a butter steak. So, you know, I'll get any type of marbly steak that's a good balance, you know, and I like to douse it in butter, fry it up in the pan, top it with some seasoning, whether it be basil or salt and pepper. I like to put Cajun seasoning. You can get a great steak seasoning at the grocery store. It's called Montreal steak seasoning. And I'll cook it up, put the butter on there, get a vegetable on the side, whether it be cauliflower or broccoli or spinach, or sometimes just make a big old salad with it. Another great thing I like to do is I go to the grocery store, and you can find these alternative foods that are keto friendly. Keto pizzas, keto pastas. I've even found these keto friendly chicken cordon bleus that you can just either stick in the oven and cook up, or you can just make it at home some other way. Another recipe on keto I really love is you can actually find like low carb tortillas. So I'll go get some ground beef, season it up with taco seasoning, which is keto friendly, and I'll make keto tacos with these tortillas, and they are phenomenal. You can have just about anything that you love to eat, and you can make it keto friendly. In terms of eating out, that's, I think, something that, you know, when you're first doing keto, it scares you. It's like if someone decides to go vegan, it tends to be a little harder for them to eat out if they're not going to strictly vegan places. And especially in a city like LA, you can find a lot of different restaurants that cater to specific lifestyles. So there are some keto places here in LA. I know there's Keto Brothers Pizza, which is a really well-known pizza shop that has keto-friendly pizzas.
Yeah.
But you can actually go to any regular restaurant and make your meal keto-friendly. In-N-Out Burger is a great example. You can get the protein style, and it's super keto-friendly. Get the spread on the side and put it on there. If I go to a restaurant, for instance, I love Asian cuisine and I love Indian cuisine. Most recently, I went to an Indian restaurant, probably was back in, and was trying to figure out, okay, what's something I can get here that caters to my keto lifestyle. So they have this tandoori chicken breast that I ordered, comes with some grilled onions on the side, some peppers, and it's got the seasonings. And it comes with a side. So instead of doing the rice or something that's a little more carb heavy, I asked them, do you have like just some cauliflower that's seasoned? And they said, yeah, we have a steamed cauliflower dish that we cook up to where it's really soft, and they season it with cumin and curry, and it was incredible. So you can go to any restaurant, just look at the menu, and most of the time, I would say about 98% of the time, these restaurants will allow you to substitute the side dishes for something keto friendly. There's another restaurant here in LA called Birds. I just got a giant half rotisserie white chicken breast. You can get a side like rice or black beans. So I asked them, hey, is it cool if I just get one of your like side Caesar salads as the dish because I'm keto friendly? And he said, of course. So I had this whole half white chicken, rotisserie chicken. And on the side, I had a side Caesar salad without croutons. You can still do the dressing and the cheese. And it was a filling, satisfying meal. I didn't feel weighed down or bloated afterward. And, they won't charge you extra. You're still paying the same amount as if you were getting the regular sides with it. They'll work with you.
I feel like more now than ever, people are, aware about what they're putting in their body. And, with the low carb, low sugar, especially, customers are more aware. And I feel like restaurants and grocery stores, as you can say, with the products that are out there, are really, identifying with the keto community, and it makes it very nice. Talk about some of your exercise things that you do that have helped you. We had spoke about exercise, and I really think that's a critical part of the whole transformation, as well as the diet. And, I'm a big believer in exercise and fitness. Talk about some of the things that you've done, Adam, that maybe you could pass on to our listeners.
Absolutely. So when I started really incorporating exercise into the lifestyle, cardio was big. Whether if you don't have a gym membership, wherever you live, you can go for a jog outside. There's a lot of nature trails anywhere, and get outside and do something physical. Whether it be jogging, just taking a power walk, push-ups, sit-ups, crunches, things like that. When I go to the gym, when it's available and open, I start out with just, minor weight sets. I work out my chest, my shoulders, my arms, biceps, triceps, and, don't think that you have to go there and do 100 pounds of weightlifting, Start light, start with what works for you. Even if it's just something as simple as 10 to 20 pounds, whatever you can lift. The fact that you're getting your blood flowing and you're moving like that is a big factor. Start with 20 to 30 minutes of cardio, whether you get on a treadmill, an elliptical, or like I said, if you don't have a gym membership, you utilize your surroundings for exercise. Start that way. Even just simple physical activities. If you have access to a pool, swimming is one of the best workouts you can do because you're working out every muscle in your body.
Definitely.
It's very simple, and each day gets easier and easier. The first day, you're going to find that you're adjusting to it, and you might struggle a little bit to get through these workouts, but each day gets easier. By a week, it becomes second nature. You can't function until you've actually done your exercise, and it's a great feeling.
Well, Adam, you look great.
Thank you.
I know myself, incredibly inspired by your story, and the information that you've been given today is so informative and so helpful. I wanted to leave the last few minutes open for questions if anybody had any questions for Adam. And then I want to talk, if we have a minute or two, you have a special, you're kind of in the entertainment business and you do a lot of funny voiceovers. And I would love for you to do an impersonation. You're a big wrestling fan, I understand.
Yes.
So I would like you to maybe pull a character of a WWE guy or somebody in that entertainment space and do an impersonation for me.
Sure. Well, no, I said I'm a big fan of WWE wrestling. Been a fan since I was a kid, and it's kind of one of those things you watch when you're a kid, and as an adult, you start thinking you're a little too grown up for it. You walk away, and then one day you're surfing channels, you land on it, and you're sucked right back in. So I'll do an impression of Vince McMahon, the CEO of WWE, and I'll do it simple.
All
I
right.
like it. I'm going to tell you that you're going to go out there and win the match. So, Austin, if you think you're going to win the title, I'm not going to let you, damn it. That's kind of just the voice he has. So
Well,
it's one I like to do a lot. He's crazy. He's a character.
what inspired you to get into the entertainment business?
Basically, I've been a lover of film since I was a kid. It all started when I was 6 years old. It was Halloween, and my mom was kind of in the mood that she didn't want to take me out trick-or-treating. It was just a big hassle, so she said, Adam, I've got an idea. How about instead of going trick-or-treating this year, we go see Batman in the theater? I was like, oh, yeah, I definitely want to see it. I'm talking about the 1989 Batman that Tim Burton directed. She took me to see it, and at that moment, that night, I fell in love with movies. I became obsessed. I started, really looking beyond like who the actors were, what the movie was. I started looking at the directors, the writers, and at a young age, I was exploring a lot of movies that, most kids wouldn't really look toward. Very specific memories of like my dad would rent a movie, and I would be like, hey, can I watch it with you? He's like, yeah, but if it starts getting rough or not for you, we're going to have to turn it off. And I would just watch movies, and I just became fascinated by this medium of cinema, that you could just see this whole world on a TV screen or on a theater screen and just escape into this world for a couple of hours. And eventually, as a kid, I would start like making my own movie posters, hand drawing them, and at a certain point, I was like, I definitely want to get into the film business. Went to film school, graduated, took the safe route, became a teacher for a few years, and then decided, all right, a friend who had moved out here to LA to also get in the business inspired me and said, dude, get out there. Go and, pursue your dream. Moved out here 2 years ago, did a little bit of film stuff back home where I'm from in Dallas for a while. On the side, and got out here, pursued the film industry full time, and it's been a great journey. Just an appreciation for film, cinema, that whole medium, and definitely feel a little empty inside with movie theaters being closed right now. So keeping hopes up that they'll open soon enough, and we'll all get to go and do that eventually.
Most definitely. With people staying home so much, is there any movie or show that you recommend we should all watch right now?
Sure. I've definitely a few nights a week. I like to pop on a movie at the end of the evening. Some of the most recent stuff I've watched that I really like, I would say, so my favorite film from this past year, 2019, is Uncut Gems with Adam Sandler. One I would highly recommend. It's just a great thriller that constantly just induces anxiety, has you sucked into the story, wondering what's going to happen next. Would recommend it in a heartbeat. Most recent film from 2020 that I watched that I really liked is Spike Lee's Da 5 Bloods. It's about 4 Vietnam veterans going back to Vietnam to look for the remains of their old friend in the army and looking for buried treasure. Think Apocalypse Now meets Treasure of the Sierra Madre. I think Spike Lee is a great filmmaker. Delroy Lindo gives an incredible performance in the film. That's a movie from this year I'd really recommend. TV show wise, most recent show I delved into was Fargo on FX. Really, really loved it. And one that I also recommend on Hulu is Normal People, which is a surprise because romance is not the first thing I gravitate to, but they did it right with that show. So definitely would recommend that one as well.
Well, we've certainly got a film critic. We've got a keto expert here, Adam. It's been unbelievable to have you on the show today. It's been terrific. Again, just really thankful for your insights, your guidance, your motivation, and your clear results. I mean, dropping over close to 120 pounds. I want to leave the last few minutes open for questions. And thanks to our audience for coming on today and giving us a little bit of time. Are there any questions for Adam? Not all at once, guys.
All good.
It's all good. We really appreciate it. Any other questions for me, Adam? Go ahead.
Sure. Actually, with your venture into Keto Crisp, do you see you guys maybe adding different, new products in the future? I know that some new flavors have come out of the bars. Do you see yourself delving maybe into adding things like pizzas or pastas or other products of that sort?
You know what? We're always looking at new ideas, and to be a thought leader in the food industry is definitely our goal here at Keto Crisp. So we're never putting limits on what we can. It's always about what we can do, not what we can't do. So it's always possible. And one of the things that I love about this business and what Keto Crisp has afforded us is the ability to learn and listen from customers like yourself. So when I hear feedback about, have you thought about this maybe as a product or that maybe as a product, my mind automatically is spinning. Oh, wait, that could be a possibility. So, yeah, to answer your question, most definitely, I think, in life and in business, customers are number one and people are number one, and listening to what people are asking for is critical to the success of anything that you do. So, absolutely, to answer your question, we're always looking at products that will better the keto community. Not just keto, but just better food products in general. We see it, a lot of opportunity there. So we're certainly excited, and definitely we'll see things down the road.
Awesome, and I look forward to it. Your bars are fantastic. Anyone that is watching right now, anyone that follows the Instagram page that hasn't tried them and is curious, go to your nearest Gelson's. You'll find it there. Order them on the website. They're incredible. I would say out of all the keto-friendly bars I've tried, these are my favorite. They give you the satisfaction and the taste buds, euphoria of a candy bar or any other sweet product you can get. Doesn't leave an aftertaste in your mouth. Doesn't make you have any bloated, gassy side effects. It's just perfect. It's a great, whether you want a snack in the middle of the day, whether you want a dessert after a meal, or whether you're just, on a road trip or going somewhere and it's like, oh, I could use something to eat right now. They're such a great product. You can take them anywhere and they're amazing. And, definitely I would recommend anyone try them. And to anyone looking to try the keto diet and you really want to give it a shot, go do the research, learn what you can about it. You can always message me directly on my Instagram, or I'm sure they can message you and ask any questions and, give it a shot. You'll see such a difference. You'll feel great. And, I will champion it every day because it is such a game changer.
I would agree, Adam. And it certainly has changed my life for the better. It's the best thing that I've ever done for myself. And I'm so excited to have the platform and to have you talk about it. And again, guys, please reach out to myself, Adam, my page, or Adam himself, or Keto Crisp. We'd love to answer your questions, and we're your biggest cheerleaders. We certainly appreciate the time. And Adam, it's been great to chat with you, and I really, really enjoyed it. And I know we'll be in touch, and enjoy the rest of your day, and take care.
You as well. And thank you so much for having me on, man. It meant a lot. This has been great, and I appreciate everything. Thank you.
No problem, man. We appreciate you, and we'll talk to you soon. Have a great weekend, and take care, everyone.
Thank you. Have a great weekend, guys.